Going into number one. If you haven't figured it out by now, we got to go ahead and drop the beat. We got to drop the beat, and then we'll go into the number one story. For this one, I created a compilation because it's just easier to show the story that way. So everybody just keep it real. Just easier to show it that way. But we are now going to the number one story, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring it in. Here we go. The number one story that you voted for is the pro-Palestinian protest. You voted for it, not me. That is the number one story of 2024. Drop the beat, fam. Can we drop the beat? I got to find the beat. Here we go. Let's drop the beat. Hey! Drop the beat. Drop the beat. All right. And we are going to go ahead and jump right in. Compilation, pro-Palestinian protest. Boom. I'm sabrinasalvati, host of Sabby podcast. I'm here at, well, actually around the corner from Copley Square at the Free Palestine March. So we have already started marching. There are two of the students that wrote that letter at Harvard University. They're actually going to be some of the speakers that you're going to hear from today as well as those who have lost loved ones in Palestine. So yeah, great turnout so far. I don't know how many people, but it's got to be at least a couple thousand based on the number of people I've seen and how the line's been moving. So stay tuned.
All across Boston, all across Massachusetts, all across the nation, all across the world, we are seeing people rise up against the injustices that are taking place in Gaza today. We are rising. What we have seen in the past couple of weeks, from Harvard to Columbia to Berkeley to Tufts, is historic. It is historic. We know firsthand what these attacks feel like. There are lists with our names on it demeaning us and slandering us. They paraded a truck around campus with me and Amari and other organizers' face and names on it in an attempt to derail our organizing. Billionaire Bill Ackman is mobilizing the ruling class to make us unemployable. But we shall not be deterred. We stand proud. We raise our flag. We raise our sign. We wear the beard. We wear them.
All right. I don't know how many people are out here, but it is a lot of people, folks. Check it out. And it goes all the way down there.
If we don't get it, shut it down. Free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. We don't get it. Shut it down.
They're trying to silence us, but we can't be silenced. We're Palestinian, and we're all Palestinians. We all stand for human rights. We all want to see a free Palestine.
Palestinians need their voices to be heard because we are people and we are being occupied.
And today I stand for my people in Palestine. May God be with them, and we're with them too.
And when they tell us that the claims of our South African brothers and sisters are meritless, and you see they've said the names a number of times, so you know they got talking points. Meritless. Have you seen Gaza? Have you seen West Bank? Not just after August 7th. Did you see it in 1948 Did you see it in 1967? Did you see it in 2008? Did you see it in 2014? And you're still looking and all you can say is meritless. Biden, how cold-hearted and mean-spirited can you be? Got the nerve to go down to a black church where black people were crushed by some sick white supremacist brother. And then you know you're enabling blowing up mosques in Gaza, blowing up churches in Gaza, blowing up places where Jesus himself was born. I'm a Christian. I'm a revolutionary Christian. I come out of the household of Irene and Clifton. I come out of Shiloh Baptist Church. I'm influenced by the Black Panther Party. Don't tell me that you can see what I see and call it meritless.
A deadly protest outside the Israeli embassy in Washington. Authorities identified Aaron Bushnell as the person who, on Sunday, set himself on fire. The 25-year-old was an active duty member of the U.S. Air Force. CNN's Gabe Cohen joins us now with the details. And Gabe, this is something that he did in protest.
Yeah, that's correct. And we're learning much more about this 25-year-old active duty airman, Aaron Bushnell, as you mentioned. He's from San Antonio, Texas, and he live streamed his actions on Sunday in broad daylight on the streets of D.C. outside the Israeli embassy. We are not going to show that video. It is extremely graphic and disturbing. I have watched the video. I can tell you at the beginning, at the start of it, you can see Bushnell walking up to the embassy on the street in his military fatigues. He's speaking calmly to the camera. I want to read a portion of what he says. He said, quote, "I will no longer be complicit in genocide. I'm about to engage in an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it is not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal." He then goes on to pour some sort of accelerant, it looks like, on his head out of a water bottle he was carrying. And then he lights himself on fire, Boris. And as the flames engulf him, you can hear him yelling, free Palestine," again and again, until finally he collapses. And that is when officers, you can see them race in, one of them with a fire extinguisher in their hands, trying to put out the flames. But it takes time. And as we have learned, Bushnell died in the hospital at some point later on. And look, it really speaks to the tensions that are continuing to escalate around the war in Gaza, not just across the world, but here in the United States. We saw a similar incident in December when someone self-immolated, lit themselves on fire outside of the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. But this feels different. This is an active duty member of the military burning himself to death on the streets of the nation's capital.
Solidarity with human suffering, especially when it is imposed by human beings, and I'm talking about the indescribable genocide of our precious Palestinians in Gaza.
You are on the right side of history. Colombia is complicit in the slaughter of Palestinians.
They've kicked me out of my housing. They confiscated our items after the sweep. I had no way of getting warm clothing. I had no way of getting food. I told them I needed my medication. I told them I needed my house key. I told them I needed my telephone. And they said it's not an emergency.
Where we were asked by students to come and participate and to stand with them as police really threatened them. There in that picture, you actually see us standing with some of the aldermen of St. Louis who are also taking the part of the students and their right to protest, their right to discuss and debate a very critical issue in American foreign policy right now, and their right, of free speech. So we were there, and basically the police charged us, despite our efforts to de-escalate. They charged us with bicycles, and you'll see plenty of footage of that around the internet. They basically used their bicycles as a weapon to push us back, to push us over onto our backs. And in my case, one of the officers actually lifted up one of my feet. You can see in some of this footage where I'm basically being thrown backwards, like onto my head. And I wiggled out of that assault and was told by the officer that I was assaulting him.
Y'all gotta go back. I'm gonna have to left here.
Because we are fucking tired of our fucking tax dollars going to kill children in another fucking country. That is why we are out here. And these fucking bitch ass pigs are part of the goddamn problem. Because these are the same motherfuckers that go over there and trade with the fucking IDF. And look at them. Look at the way they fucking act. This is the militarized fucking police force. This is the shit that we do in America. Now just fucking imagine what those children and those men and those women and those fucking grandparents in Gaza are experiencing right now.
In New York, about 500 members of Jewish Voice for Peace and their allies rallied at the Statue of Liberty Monday to demand a ceasefire in Gaza. Protesters wore black T-shirts reading, "Not in our name."
Committee will suspend.
You're a dictator too, Genocide Joe! Tens of thousands of Palestinians
to be silent in this moment. In the last 3 weeks, I've gone back and I've done some research, and I'm teachable. I don't know enough, but I know enough that this is a genocide. And we are scared. We are watching it unfold. We have been taught to just be complicit. to protect our careers, to protect our interests, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm not afraid to speak the truth.
Protesters at the port of Oakland are blocking a U.S. ship that will be sending military weapons to Israel. So this happened first. Wow. But all I can say, I want to end it with Aaron here, with Aaron Bushnell. Watching that compilation, like when I was making it, is different than sitting back looking at it now. I can't help but get teary-eyed. When you look at everything that has happened, people really came out in full force for the protest across the world. We saw the same thing happen with the George Floyd protest across the world, a global uprising. And so going into 2025, I think it is really important. The only way that we are really going to beat back and we are going to fight against the oppression and occupation of anybody is that the people who are in power, the elites, the oligarchy, they are the ones that are controlling all of it. Our government won't withdraw weapons to Israel because the politicians belong to AIPAC and J Street. Think about that. We have billionaires buying elections. We have billionaires making decisions in our government when the politicians are supposed to respond to the constituents. They respond to their donors instead. The entire world rose up against Israel. The entire world. And when you look back and you see all those videos, and those are just a few, but all of the video mashup that I created, there's no way, if we don't have billionaire control, if we don't have an oligarchy controlling the government, there's no way Palestine isn't free yesterday. It's not just about foreign policy. It connects everything. If we don't have oligarchy controlling our government, there's no way everybody in this country doesn't have health care. You feel me? If we don't have an oligarchy controlling our government, there's no way that there's homelessness in this country. There's no way a child goes hungry in the United States of America. If we don't have the oligarchy controlling the government and exploiting the people, exploiting the labor, there's no way. The people in the White House are puppets. They respond to the donor class. They're actually further down on the totem pole than you think. So we have to change our framing going into 2025. Stop saying the president can't do, they can. Stop saying they don't understand, they do. Stop saying they just don't get it or they're not willing to budge. This is all false. Stop saying they can be pushed. We can push them this way, we can push them that way. Stop saying that. You can't push them anyway. The donor class is what pushes them. This is why there needs to be a strong call to remove corporate money from electoral politics in this country. There are other countries that have free public elections. We don't have it here. The genocide doesn't happen because there's no weapons coming from the US to go to Israel. You get me? They don't have these contracts with these weapon contractors. They don't belong to the military industrial complex. They don't have to deal with that. Therefore, it doesn't happen. All those kids aren't killed in Gaza. Later on this week, stay tuned for a video about the increase of the homelessness rate in 2024. It has just shot through the roof. And if people don't wake up to what I'm trying to prepare you for, it is only a matter of time where it's not going to be uncommon for you, no matter where you live, to see an increase in homelessness. That is going to continue if people don't wake up. It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican in the White House. Do people not get that? None of that matters. If the oligarchy maintains control, that will not change. Black wealth is projected to be at $0 in 2050. White people, you're not going to be excluded. Your wealth is going to decline too, unless you're already rich. There are too many people that are homeless in this country. That shouldn't be. There are too many people living in poverty in this country. That should not be. And there is no reason why anyone in this country should not have health care. But the system that we have that is controlled by the oligarchy, by the billionaire class, allows this to happen. You just saw what happened right now with Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. Watch the video I uploaded for that. You just saw this. This has all been revealed, what I've been telling people for the past couple of years. These people are not going to look out for the best interests of the working class if you are not a donor. They look out for their self, their buddies, their class, and their interest. So the whole push for let's get more people with H-1B, visas, let's get them. That is just another form of exploiting the workers because they know that they are cheaper labor, they pay them less, and they have a restrictive visa requirement where they can't just quit like that if they want to, or they're sent back home. Everyone should be up in arms that Elon Musk was just walking into Congress making demands. When your politicians that you may or may not have voted for, but if you voted for him, they won't even listen to you. But he walks in and he don't even live in their district and he has their eyes and their ears. You hear what I'm saying? I do believe that something is coming. I don't know what that's going to be, but the story that I just read about the homelessness rate in 2024, the United States, Richard Wolff is right. We are on our way down. And by we, it's those of us that are part of the working class. Elon Musk is going to be fine. The working class won't. So get ready. Because I say it again, with all the protests in the world for Gaza, there is no reason why Palestine should not be free. Not one reason, except for the fact that money controls the government. And I don't know how any of those people can sleep at night. I don't know how Joe Biden sleeps at night. I don't know how Elon Musk sleeps at night. I don't know how Donald Trump sleeps at night. I don't know how any of these people sleep at night, because that would really bother me. The videos that I saw, which I did not put in the compilation, but the videos of the children, there's no way for you to look at that and not give a damn. You're bought, you're soulless, and you're greedy. This past year, it was Gaza. Next year, it could be someone else. So don't think it can't be you. We'll end, I think, the clip there. We're just going to do one clip for this, Eric and Corey, and that's the number one story of Gaza. Eric, do you want to come on to do this part? If not, I can just do it. This is what we try to drive home. And this is what we want people to start saying in your conversations with people. Money, corruption, demand solutions, MC/DS. So Eric came up with this, and this is what we got to do. The MCDS playbook for 2025. Again, MC is money and corruption. DS is demands and solutions. MC, always, always, always connect any current issue to big money and corruption. As long as billionaires own our government, things will get worse and worse. So you see what I did there with the Gaza situation? You connect it to the money and you'll understand why. DS, demands and solutions. Don't stop there. The crucial next step is to express clearly and loudly what are our demands, and from the demands will flow solutions. And here are some examples that Eric put here. Our healthcare system sucks because it's about money and not health. Demand the end for profit health insurance and the formation of a full service United States national healthcare system. Uniformed officers of the state commit yet another atrocity. Demand that everyone up the chain of command be fired or resign, including, most importantly of all, those in leadership positions. Every uniparty politician in Washington is owned and working for the billionaires. Demand that they either resign or exit the corrupt duopoly and make fixing the big money system their number one priority. And I got to drive this home. All these politicians that you guys are still trying to say, let's just try to push them left. Oh, hell no. Especially the ones that have been there for years. Nancy Pelosi, these people, Pelosi, Schumer, they have had plenty of time to move on issues that they know they could have moved on, and they decided not to because their donors don't want them to. Don't believe me? Friend of the show, Roger Meadows, has attended meetings where Chuck Schumer led the meeting and admitted that, yeah, we could do Medicare for all. They already know. So going into 2025, stop telling people, let's push people left. No. There is no pushy wushy. They're not going to push for you. These people need to resign. That's where we're going, okay? Stop saying we're going to try to push people like Nancy Pelosi, who has been there for God knows how damn long. Nancy need to retire. She need to resign. She need to go back to San Fran and hang out with her refrigerator ice cream. You can go down the list for all of them. Mitch McConnell, stop saying, oh, I might be willing to try to work with him. Hell to the no. He been there long enough. Mitch McConnell need to go back to the hills of Kentucky and resign. These people are not going to be pushed. They need to resign. Step all the way down. That's what needs to happen. All of these old school, we're going to keep things by the book and not try to change any of these parties, people. Those politicians got to go. And if that means that their seat remains vacant, let the damn seat remain vacant. Because I'll tell you, Justice Democrats, they already told you they were out of money. They ain't got nobody else coming up the pipeline. And you see that AIPAC already removed 2 of them from Congress. It's not just people that need to resign on the Democratic Party. Some of these old fogey Republican politicians got to go. You need new energy in there, new energy. That doesn't mean you necessarily have to be young, but if your ass done been there for over a damn near decade, you got to go. And we need term limits in Congress. Because some of y'all done got comfortable. You done been there for decades. You've written so many books. You've done your book tours. You've done your promos, etc. It is time for you to go. Maybe we can start a movement around that. Get these mofos out of office. How about that? Step all the way down. And you know what? That is something we could do in a bipartisan way. Because I'm pretty sure there's damn Republicans who also feel as though they want some of them damn politicians on the Republican side in Congress to step the fuck down too. They need a whole new crew. People got to go. But they're not going to go if you continue to vote for them. They're not. And that's why they're still there. So if that means that you got to vote third party, independent, whatever you want to do, these people got to go. So going into 2025, we're going to make sure we change the way we speak about certain things. And I started that a little bit towards the end of this year, but I had to break myself out of that. I had to break myself out of saying, oh my gosh, they just don't get it. They don't understand. Why are they? No, they do get it. They do understand. They're paid to pretend like they don't get it. And that includes corporate media too. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.